Thomas went through.
Yep.
Now the whole time I'm thinking, okay, this guy's wrong. He thinks I'm homeless. He thinks I have some other issue. At least the recordings will be there, and even if I don't make it, the truth will be there. Over 6 officers responded, not one recording. Everything that this officer did led to him wanting to kill me. I mean, sure, you could come up with something that doesn't follow that chain of thought, but the recording's not there, never asked me my name. Again, I thought the internal affairs would take care of this. This would all be taken care of smoothly and easily. I'd be represented with the recording or the fact that there was no recording. Nobody knows. Nobody knows that I have a voice and that I'm supposed to be represented in this matter. So I have a resisting arrest charge. My attorney never told me about a court date, and he didn't go either, so I have a failure to appear. And then I have another arrest by an officer not wearing a camera, not wearing a nameplate, didn't know who I was, gets me to the jail. I give him my name. He looks me up on his phone, reads the newspaper article by Frank Nicodiet about my volunteer work. I explained the first arrest. The officer became very concerned and would not leave my side until I was safely in my cell. The first arrest, I do owe a note of appreciation that the officers who responded took the time to assess what was going on and didn't just rush up and kick my ass like they did in Santa Ana with Mr. Arzadeh or with Kelly Thomas over a year ago. So there is a huge step of improvement in the quality of services. Mm-hmm. But I think until the officers all wear their cameras and record their full day, as it's been promised, my representation's not there. I'm out over $250,000 in bail because of this arrest. The officer joked that because I filed a complaint against a judge who didn't know the law, this is what happens, which is again a violation of my First Amendment right to petition the government for redress of grievances, free of retaliation. Both of these arrests were in retaliation for my First Amendment rights to speak out. And there's no recording of this, so I am not represented when I go to court. My attorney's already told me to take a plea, saying that the officer was acting lawfully. The officer's not acting lawfully. He wasn't recording the interaction. I have friends in high-ranking, military, government, police, sheriff, relatives. I've been doing termite work for over 20 years in Orange County. I have over 200 customers over 20 years. I've worked for over 2,000 people. So I do know a lot of people. And I'm not trying to call any of them to the table, and not one of them will stand up or speak or use their color of authority to stop or protect me. And that's not their place. I'd expect that the city of Anaheim would start protecting not only themselves, because I can't think of anything worse for a person to say about an officer than he said, "You're going to find out what Kelly Thomas went through." And that officer should have a recording to defend himself against anyone saying it. Unfortunately, that's what happened. And I'd rather not ever have to say that. I'd rather be able to say, hey, walked up to me, asked me my name, decided he wanted to take me into custody, took me into custody. I'm not out on over $250,000 bail that my family has to pay, and I have to pay. Homelessness, I wish I could be at 0.
Well, and that's something I think we all share. I mean, your own individual circumstances, I can't comment on that.
No, I realize, and I'm not expecting. I mean, I of course would love an answer and to have it taken care of right now. I've spent over a year begging, emailing all the council members, the mayor, screaming bloody murder at my attorney. I've got 2 other attorneys who want to sue him for malpractice because he's completely botched this.
I can't speak to the kind of the policy and the recording issue. Currently, our policy is the digital audio recorder.
Yes.
It needs to be, and our policy is it needs to be recorded. And when we find that it's not, officers are disciplined. I know because like the captains and the chief sit in the group and we get those cases and we decide the discipline.
Okay.
So I can tell you that officers have been disciplined when we find out that things are not recorded. So that's, that's how, I don't know how else to address it. You tell them, here's the rules, and if you don't abide by the rules, you're gonna be punished.
It does leave it open. There's no meat or beef or consequence to this. It just says everything's going to be recorded. And so I would almost think that just like the pills, and I have contracts with people who are on the federal level, and in order for me to get paid, I have to show documentation. I have to show photographs of everything I've done. Or the contract sent back to me and I'm told to go back out and redo it or redocument. I can understand if rape or a murder and you guys show up and there's the gun, there's the guy. You definitely want the recorders playing then, but even if they aren't, you have the material evidence. But my entire crime was resisting arrest. My resisting consisted of standing still while being attacked, tackled, laid out on the ground. The officer moved so that the bounty hunter could tase me.
This really sounds like a personal matter.
It sounds like you did the right, I don't know what the outcome's gonna be. You did
No, but my concern is
population,
is important.
If the context of this was homeless people having a voice.
It is, and it is that the officers need to have the recorders
on. All of these
on.
departments
So that
sitting around this table are working to that end.
Yeah, we all agree with you on that. Recorders need to be on.
Because there's so many great things that the officers are doing that need to be documented. I know it sounds crazy, but right now that one officer singing the Taylor Swift song, okay, that's a horrible example. It's on the YouTube or whatever, but okay, well,